Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. First of all, please tell me whether my voice is clear, and I hope the screen is also clearly visible. आवाज़ आप सबको अच्छे से आ रही है, स्क्रीन अच्छे से दिखाई दे रही है. Everything's clear? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so those of you who haven't joined the Telegram channel, make sure that you join the Telegram channel, and whomsoever is benefiting from this channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Okay? Chaliye. So from today, we will be embarking on a very beautiful journey called financial system. See, financial system, even though you all might be having different kinds of pointers particularly in the syllabus, तो आपके syllabus में बहुत सारी चीज़ें लिखी हुई हैं, अलग अलग लिखी हुई है, but the way we will be discussing about all of them, all of those chapters is within the umbrella called financial system. ठीक है? So first of all, I'll give you a brief about how we're gonna proceed with respect to understanding financial institutions and understanding all the different kinds of aspects. See, first of all, we'll understand the importance of financial system. उसके बाद हम लोग पढ़ेंगे what exactly is a financial system. In this, you will recognize the various functions of financial system. And later, the most important area is what exactly does a financial system comprises of, in which you will be talking about financial institutions in the first place. In financial institutions, you will be talking about banking institutions and then non-banking institutions. In banking institutions, you have all different types of banks that we're going to study, like scheduled commercial banks, private banks, public sector banks, okay, small finance banks, payment banks, RRBs, UCBs, all those kinds of banks is what we're going to discuss. Then later on, we'll focus towards on NBFCs, mutual funds, alternate investment funds, okay, similarly in market infrastructure institutions, all the non-banking institutions, including a brief knowledge about insurance companies as well as pension funds. Okay, and then we will move towards financial markets, in which we are going to discuss money market, capital markets, okay, or basically equity market, stock market, foreign exchange market, okay, and bond market and debt market, obviously the part of capital markets only. We're going to discuss about them thoroughly, all the instruments and all the various aspects, again we're going to discuss thoroughly. Later on, what we're going to discuss is various kinds of financial instruments, or what you call assets, in which you're going to discuss about stocks, derivatives, okay, and then we're going to discuss about insurance, bonds, etc., etc. Later on, I will also be discussing about financial regulators also, about RBI, about SEBI, about IRDAI, about other regulators also, PFRD and all those. Similarly, in banking institutions, particularly, we will also be discussing about all India financial institutions. So in this way, we will be studying the whole finance syllabus. For example, as you already must be recalling that the syllabus topics include structures and banks. मतलब इसमें अगर मैं syllabus का topic अगर आपसे ढूंढ के दूँ, for example, if you see over here, RBI syllabus. If you see RBI syllabus over here, for example, you have structure and functions of financial institutions. थोड़ा बहुत अभी करेंगे, थोड़ा आपका जब financial institution is what we gonna do over here, यहाँ पर हो जाएगा. Similarly, banking system in India, structure and development is what we're gonna complete in this portion. इसमें आप देख सकते हो. Similarly, functions of Reserve Bank of India, all these all India financial institutions, again we're gonna do it over here. as well as over here. So the whole finance syllabus will be completed in this manner. It's just that the chronology I have decided in this way so that it becomes easier for you to understand the bigger picture. आप पूरी पिक्चर, ठीक है, को समझ लें और फिर उसके जो इंडिविजुअल कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स हैं उसको भी देखते चलें. ठीक है? Is this clear to each and every one of you? Does this make sense? मिस्टर सिंह, अभी तो जो कोर्स में टेस्ट होंगे आज डिस्क्रिप्टिव के, अभी तो केवल उनकी एवैल्यूएशन है. यूट्यूब पर अगर कोई प्रोग्राम करेंगे हम लोग बाद में, ठीक है, तो जब अनाउंस करेंगे तब उनका भी चेक करेंगे. ठीक है, हेड्स स्पिनिंग, ठीक है, डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. ठीक है, इट्स जस्ट लाइक आई हैव ऑलरेडी गिवन यू अ ट्री एंड देन वील गो ब्रांच बाय ब्रांच. डोंट वरी. ठीक है, एंड in between whatever static syllabus that we will be doing in between, for example in the next class onwards we will be starting with banking institutions, which is a part of financial institutions. And in banking institutions, again, when we will be talking about, let's say, small finance bank, in the lecture obviously you will be having very almost limited amount of content that is required to understand what exactly this small finance bank is. Okay, simultaneously we will be doing RBI core circular on small finance bank, so that this whole small finance bank topic is completely done. Okay, and your overall financial institution, banking institution notes also do not become so much bulky, so that you just take a look at it and you leave it. ठीक है, वो भी नहीं होगा. Ashish, the decision with respect to circulars class we have already taken. जो 1st to 10th होंगे ना, केवल उसका वीडियो अवेलेबल होगा, बाकी कोर्स में इट्स इन द पेड कोर्स. ऑलरेडी हम लोग कर चुके हैं इसको. नेक्स्ट थिंग, चलिए. So with this whole idea, let's start with finance. And in order to understand what do you mean by finance and what exactly this finance is all about, or what financial system is all about, you need to understand why there was a need to have this financial system in the first place. What was the need? Because initially the fundamental problem was double coincidence of wants. This was the fundamental problem that was going on before the money and any kind of financial institutions was in place. For example, if let's say there was this guy called A used to produce chairs, and then there is this guy called B used to produce breads. ठीक है, if this person required bread and if this person required chair, then they can do the trade amongst each other. Okay, this guy will exchange chair and get bread. This type of exchange is what do we call? What do we used to call it? This kind of exchange? Barter system. And this barter system actually used to depend upon what? It depends upon डबल कोइंसिडेंस ऑफ वांट्स. ठीक है, मतलब until unless A wants whatever B is producing, at the same time B wants whatever A is producing, until the double coincidence of wants exist, okay, you will not be able to have a barter system, any kind of transaction between these two persons. Because think about a case scenario. Let's say this person A does not want bread So why would he do any kind of transaction with person B? Isn't it? So this whole problem of double coincidence of wants, this whole problem was solved through, what was the best solution? It was solved through the concept of money. Okay. So money actually did what? Money became a store of value, easily exchanged, and it actually made double coincidence of wants redundant. Okay, so that was the most important thing which money actually solved. तो money के आने से, ठीक है, this person sold shares to person B in return for money, which later this person chair can utilize to purchase bread. So this whole problem of double coincidence of wants was resolved by money. Money, which is a very important component of the financial system. ठीक है? So this basic problem was solved. But there was this another problem. Another problem was going on. Now think about a case scenario. A person A, ठीक है, this person A require money, ठीक है, he will only be able to return it back after 4 years. Let's say after graduation, when he will be earning money. So this problem did not have any solution. अभी तो आप लोग बड़े चौड़े में मेरे को बोल दोगे कि सर इसका तो सोल्यूशन है, बैंक से लोन ले लो, बट वो पहले तो बैंक थी ही नहीं, पहले लोन का कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं था. अगर किसी को इस तरीके की प्रॉब्लम एग्जिस्ट करती है तो वो क्या करे, उस समय कोई इसका सोल्यूशन नहीं था. समझ रहे मेरी बात? तो इन्हीं सब प्रॉब्लम्स को रिजॉल्व करने के लिए देन केम द इंस्टीट्यूशंस कॉल्ड फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस. इन फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस ने इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स बनाए which basically solved the time problem. ठीक है? They basically solved the time problem. Let's say if somebody wants money now, only be able to pay later, this whole time problem was resolved. Because previously what was happening, whatever transactions that were happening, at the same time they were exchanging goods and exchanging money. But let's say if somebody wants good now and will be able to pay money later, this will not be happening like that. So some kind of instrument needs to be in place that will allow these parties to do such kind of transactions. Isn't it? होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए? And it is to resolve such kind of issues came the concept of financial institutions, different institutions like banks, insurance companies, pension funds, etc., etc. And they actually resolved this problem by developing these multiple types of instruments or multiple types of assets. So यहाँ तक सबको clear है? Is this clear? Why actually financial system came into being? Does anybody have any issue? Please ask. Saurabh, right now there is no phase 2 specific course. Right now we have a separate test series course which you can access. In the test series we are providing every 10 days objective, descriptive and full length tests. Okay? And we are conducting at a periodic interval so as to ensure accountability. So you can check it out. यहां तक सबको क्लियर है? प्लीज बताइए. So it is these fundamental problems that the financial system is actually resolving. Okay, so that's why what do we call financial system? A financial system is the infrastructure that facilitate the flow of money through time across people. ठीक है? This is what the core function of financial system. It's the infrastructure that enables flow of money from one person to another person across different timelines. And it is, if not for the financial system, your government will not be able to raise money to do fiscal expenditure. Your banks would not be able to raise money to do lending. You would also not be able to raise money for your company in order to do expenditure. आप कर ही नहीं पाते. कैसे करते हैं बताइए? Okay, so that is what the importance of financial system is. Because it is because of the financial system, if you, let's say, try to decide that what kind of financial institutions actually were developed to solve these kinds of problems, you have banking institutions. What kind of instruments or services they provide? Lending services. Via what kind of instruments? You can see loans, credit card, ठीक है, overdraft. Is it or is it not? Similarly, you have other companies like, stock brokers, allowing you to do investing in stock market, ठीक है, so that you can purchase equity as well as bonds. So at the end, they are solving what kind of problem? At the end, they are solving this fundamental problem of a person who has excess money can actually provide money to a person who is requiring money. Okay, so this whole transactions has been enabled because of financial system, which acted as a intermediary who is responsible for what? Who is responsible for intermediation or transitioning savings and turning it into investments. This is what they are doing. From investors, this money is actually flowing towards companies or the governments, and then they are doing expenditure, creating new products, earning profits, returning it to investors, and this profit is obviously consumed further. So that's how the overall financial system is actually working. Is this clear to each and every one of you? Please बताइए yes or no. ठीक है, शांत मत बैठे रहिए. शांत बैठे रहोगे तो मुझे कैसे पता लगेगा कि आप लोग को कुछ समझ आया कि नहीं आया. Broadly, the whole financial system is, and what exactly are its core functions. Is this clear to all of you? Is this clear or not? Okay. Now let's talk about other core functions. With respect to whatever financial institutions that you can think of and whatever kinds of services that they are actually providing, all of them are core functions of financial system. ठीक है, payment systems, credit markets, risk distribution, which insurance companies do. This is also core function of financial system. ठीक है, price discovery through supply and demand, that also is the core idea of financial system. Now this whole financial system is actually being developed and being implemented by what all different institutions in place, which is very important. आप लोग बताइए मुझे कि ये पूरे फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम में कौन कौन से इंस्टीट्यूशंस आपको पता है जो पूरे फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम को चला रहे हैं. Who exactly are the institutions that are actually running this whole financial system? At the top, can we put regulators, financial regulators? What else? What else institutions are actually running? In which you have SEBI taking care of capital markets. Again, a very important component of the financial system, which is financial markets. Then you have regulator like RBI taking care of various financial institutions. Another most important component of the financial system, in which you will be having banking institutions, non-banking institutions, even all India financial institutions like SEBI, NABARD, etc. Isn't it? इसी तरीके से all these financial institutions and all these financial markets are providing you multiple kinds of financial services. Is it or is it not? Financial services like lending, investing, and all of these services are being provided through financial assets, or what you call financial instruments. Instruments like stock, bond, loan, etc. So that is the big picture of the overall financial system. You have financial regulators in place, you have financial institutions in place, financial assets in place, financial services in place. I hope all of you guys are able to understand the connection between all these different aspects. तो जब आपसे पूछा जाए कि what exactly is financial regulator and how is it different from financial services and financial assets, will you guys be able to tell it? बता पाएंगे नहीं बता पाएंगे? Please tell me. ओके तो इसीलिए कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम की जब हम बात करते हैं तो वी आर एक्चुअली टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑल दीज इंस्टीट्यूशंस ओनली, लाइक फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स, फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस, फाइनेंशियल एसेट्स, फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज. नाउ लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड अ लिटिल बिट अबाउट ऑल दीज डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम. इनके बारे में थोड़ा सा पढ़ लेते हैं, जिससे यू गेट द जिस्ट ऑफ इट बिफोर वी एक्चुअली स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट देम. For example, in financial institutions, these are the entities that intermediate between savers and borrowers. They are actually responsible for moving savings to, borrowing. And there are multiple financial institutions that actually does the same. We have banking institutions, all these different types of banks. Again, we will be talking about them in depth in the first lecture of financial institutions banking. Okay. Then you have non-banking financial institutions that take care of the same thing, transitioning money from savings and putting it in the form of, let's say, borrowings or giving it via investment. We have insurance companies, mutual funds, NBFCs, pension funds, microfinance institutions. Now, insurance companies, if you see, they sell what? They sell insurance. What kind of most fundamental financial activity that does these insurance company do? They transfer risk. In today's session only, we discussed about it. In today's RBI circular session, we discussed about it. How do they transfer the risk? Okay, by purchasing an insurance policy, you are actually transferring the risk from yourself to the insurance company. Let's say in case if any health contingency happens, so the risk of hospitalization expenses will be borne out by insurance company, that risk has been transferred. Similarly, what does mutual funds do? Mutual fund क्या करते हैं? जैसे अगर आप म्यूचुअल फंड्स के बारे में नाम तो आप लोगों ने सुना ही होगा. म्यूचुअल फंड्स, थिंक अबाउट इट लाइक अ ह्यूज फंड वेयर दे गेट मनी फ्रॉम डिफरेंट डिपॉजिटर्स. आप लोग जब पैसा खरीदते हो तो वो पैसा म्यूचुअल फंड के पास जाता है. सो दे आर एक्चुअली कलेक्टिंग द होल मनी, होल पूल ऑफ मनी. नाउ दिस होल पूल ऑफ मनी इज एक्चुअली handled by a investment manager. What does this investment manager do? It basically utilizes your money and put it in the markets. Understood? And whatever return that it could make, it increases the overall value of this pool and increases the overall profitable returns for you. Okay, so that's how a mutual fund works. Similarly, you have NBFCs. NBFCs are basically those institutions that does activity related to banking, but they are not actually a bank. Okay. Then you have pension funds. Pension funds are those funds which collects amount from different subscribers. And this whole pension fund is basically getting accumulated so that after retirement you can get assured income after 50 years. So this is what pension funds do. Okay, so such are these different institutions, and every institution differs on the basis of risk level. Some are conservative, that they do not do so much risk. Some are much more risk taking, like venture capitalists. Venture capitalists are those kinds of companies that put money into startups. So you must have heard about Sequoia Capital. और Sequoia Capital नहीं सुना होगा तो YC Combinator, Y Combinator सुना है आप लोगों ने? The company which put money into startups like Facebook and all those. Okay, so this is how the institutions are also different. Some have time horizons different, because pension fund, you put your money for a very long duration. But if let's say for a stock market, you put your money for a very short duration. You can put your money and you can pull it out whenever you want. Obviously the money should be favorable to you. And then you have different customer segments and different functions. A payment bank will be focusing upon the payment infrastructure, whereas a small finance bank will be focusing upon providing money, small token money to various institutions that are actually in huge requirement of money, particularly the MSME sector, particularly the small self-help groups. तो इस तरीके से फंक्शन के बेसिस पर, टाइम के बेसिस पर, रिस्क लेवल के बेसिस पर आपके फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस अलग अलग बनाए गए हैं. यहां तक किसी को कोई समस्या? प्लीज टेल. आर यू गाइज एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट हाउ दीज फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस आर डिफरेंट एंड हाउ आर दे बीइंग एस्टैब्लिश्ड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ इट? समझ आ रहा है आप सबको? Is this clear to each and every one of you? Okay. Then you have financial markets. अब see, financial markets are also very important infrastructure in the overall financial system. मतलब आप सोचिए कि आप रहते हैं, for example, if you live in Delhi and you have excess money, but nobody requires your money. Nobody requires your money in Delhi. But there is in Bangalore, in Bengaluru, there is some company which requires money, but nobody in Bangalore has excess money. Nobody has excess money. So how do you resolve this problem? How do you resolve this problem? You try to make a pan-India market in which all the buyers and all the sellers are actually located within the same domain. So that if somebody even in Delhi, have excess money, can provide money to somebody in Bengaluru who requires money. So this is what the benefit of market is, isn't it? Market का यही तो benefit होता है. मान लीजिए आपको फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे दिल्ली की बात करें, दिल्ली में अगर आपको क्या कहते हैं कुछ भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का आइटम ठीक कराना होता है तो आप कौन सी मार्केट में जाते हो? टू विच मार्केट डू यू गो टू? बताइए. नेचुरल सी बात है, नेहरू प्लेस की मार्केट में जाएंगे. और इन केस इफ यू वांट टू लेट्स से परचेज गुड क्वालिटी क्लोथ्स तो आप या तो पालिका बाजार जाओगे या फिर सरोजनी जाओगे. अब मैंने पालिका बोल दिया तो बहुत सारे लोग जज कर रहे होंगे. ठीक है, पालिका नहीं तो कम से कम सरोजनी जाओगे. बट दिस इज व्हाट द की थिंग इज, बिकॉज जब तक आप मार्केट प्लेस नहीं बनाओगे तब तक उस प्लेस पर अलग अलग बायर्स और अलग अलग सेलर्स कैसे पहुंचेंगे, और जब तक अलग अलग बायर्स और अलग अलग सेलर्स नहीं पहुंचेंगे तब तक ट्रेड कैसे होगा. तो द मोर ट्रेड यू वांट टू डू, द मोर place you want to establish in which a lot more buyers and a lot more sellers can come. Is this clear? आ रहा है समझ में कि नहीं आ रहा है? So financial markets does the same thing. So they create a market for every kind of transaction, every kind of trade and every kind of transaction. So you tell me, what do you need? If you need money against the company's shares, if let's say a company wants money from investors and in return the company is giving stock, so such kind of market has been established and it is known as stock market. Similarly, if let's say the company is not ready to give to investor the shares, so in return for money, what they are giving? They are giving interest payments and capital. Technically it is what you call debt. तो ये आपकी क्या होगी? Debt market होगी. Similarly, if you let's say if you are actually going out to Europe for vacation purposes, so you need dollars. So in order to access dollars, you will sell rupees. But where do you get dollars? Obviously right now you get dollars in Western Union or some authorized dealers. But in case if let's say there is no such entities available, तो आप मार्केट में जाओगे तो आपके पास कोई तो मार्केट होनी चाहिए जो रुपी बेच के डॉलर आपको दे दे. That means some market where foreign exchange is available. So you also have foreign exchange market in India. और फिर एक मार्केट बनाई गई फॉर एग्जाम्पल टू गेट मनी फॉर अ वेरी शॉर्ट ड्यूरेशन मनी एंड इन बल्क. बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा, और बल्क में कौन लेता है? इंस्टीट्यूशंस लेते हैं. अगर बैंक को चाहिए 100 करोड़ रुपए और बस केवल 2 दिन के लिए चाहिए तो उसके लिए भी एक मार्केट बना दी गई विच इज कॉल्ड मनी मार्केट. ओके, सो दैट्स हाउ ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ नीड्स दीज मार्केट्स आर बीइंग क्रिएटेड इन द इकोनॉमी. ये चीज आप लोग को समझ में आ रही है? इज दिस क्लियर टू ईच एंड एवरी वन ऑफ यू? प्लीज टेल यस और नो. Okay, and in similar fashion, in all these markets, what do you exchange? You exchange these different financial instruments. So for example, in this stock market, what exactly do you exchange? You exchange stock. Stock is what? Stock is share of a company. Similarly, you have different kinds of debt instruments. What are the different kinds of debt instruments that you have? You have, in context of government, you have debt instruments called treasury bills. So treasury bills, or dated securities, and do not worry about these terms. I'm just making you aware about these terms so that at least you hear about them. Okay, so whenever we will talk about them in depth, at least you must have heard about them somewhere else. So at the end, the basic thing that I want from you to remember is that these are what? These are debt securities. Okay, so in case of short-term debt securities, you have certificate of deposits that usually bank provide, and if a particular company has to acquire short-term debt basically any kind of debt that you will repay within 1 year, so they will be launching commercial paper, and long-term debt which they will be paying after 5 years, or let's say 6 years, 7 years, they are known as corporate bond if a company actually raises money via like that. So these are what? These are different financial instruments. So these are some examples of different financial institutions in place, just like what we have discussed over here. So we've understood financial institutions, we've understood financial markets, we've understood financial assets and instruments. Okay. Now obviously all these things that will be happening, who actually is making sure that all of these activities are working, without any kind of instability? That is the most important thing. Next thing is that how do you ensure that all the money of investors and the public is safe? Who is responsible for it? Anyone? कौन बताएगा कौन responsible है इस चीज के लिए? Who's gonna tell? Who is responsible for both of these activities? Financial regulators. So every kind of activity is regulated by a different kind of regulator. So for example, RBI deals with payment banking, SEBI deals with capital markets, IRDAI deals with insurance market, PFRDA deals with pensions, and then you have a new regulator in place which is called IFSCA, which deals with all kinds of financial institutions in the GIFT IFSC city. Okay? So these are what the benefits of having different kinds of financial regulators in, so that they can manage whole financial system, so that they can ensure that there exists stability in the whole financial system. जब भी कोई बैंक में फेलियर होता है आप किसके पास जाते हो? आरबीआई के पास जाते हो कि नहीं जाते हो? सो दिस इज व्हाट द इंटेंट इज. ठीक है. सो दिस इज व्हाट द होल चैप्टर इज ऑल अबाउट. ठीक है. फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज में वही सेम चीज आ गई. इन्वेस्टिंग, लेंडिंग, all the financial services that are being provided by these financial institutions, again the component of financial system. In the next class we will be starting with financial institutions, banking, और फिर हम उसको in depth करेंगे. ठीक है. Now if you have any questions feel free to ask, otherwise we'll wind up this session. और अभी शाम को descriptive का टेस्ट लाइव होने वाला है. मेक श्योर दैट ऑल ऑफ यू गाइज डू इट. जितने भी लोग क्लास कर रहे हैं रेगुलरली, ठीक है, मेक श्योर करें कि डिस्क्रिप्टिव का जो टेस्ट आज होने वाला है उसको अच्छे से दें. आप कंप्लीटली प्रिपेयर कभी नहीं हो पाओगे, बट मेक श्योर दैट यू गिव द डिस्क्रिप्टिव टेस्ट. Okay, so this is all from my side. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we'll wind up the session. These classes will be covering the whole syllabus of finance, ESI and management. Okay, but only static is available on YouTube. To do core circulars, to do dynamic portion, you have to get the course में फिर बाकी सारी चीज़ें होंगी. Chalo, thank you guys for joining. We'll meet in the next session. Thank you.